out there, and welcome to the Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Monday, February 17, 2025, and tonight I'll be talking about Monday Night Raw. Alright, so we are on the road to the Elimination Chamber, and we had two Elimination Chamber qualifying matches, one for the men and one for the women. Let's kick things off talking about the one for the men, which ended up being the main event, was the Elimination Chamber qualifier Seth frickin' Rollins versus Finn Balor. Now, as we all know, Seth Rollins and Finn Balor have a history. You know, they had the match for the inaugural Universal title. We all know how that ended, unfortunately. So, this was actually a really great match. I actually really like this match between Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. I think it made for a great main event. You know, Finn Balor attacking Seth Rollins before the bell started. This was good. Now, I really like the spot where Seth Rollins did the moonsault to Finn Balor and then the buckle bomb, and then he did the frog splash. I honestly no joke, there was a part of me that kind of thought that maybe Finn Balor would win this, especially I kind of thought to myself, oh, maybe someone's going to interfere. I don't think Judgment Day would have interfered, but maybe somebody else. Maybe Punk would have cost Rollins. But that didn't happen. So Seth Rollins beats Finn Balor clean here. And Seth Rollins officially qualifies for the Elimination Chamber. But like I said, this was a great match overall. I can't imagine how upset Finn Balor is going to be knowing that he did not qualify, knowing that Judgment Day didn't help him here. But this was good. Really great way to end Monday Night Raw. Okay, so tonight's Raw kicked off with a Sami Zayn promo. And he's basically talking about how it's been a rough couple weeks. And he was talking about all the history between him and Kevin Owens. As we all know, Kevin Owens did the pile driver to Sami Zayn, taking him out for a couple weeks. Now, he's talking about how he's going to be in Toronto, and Adam Pearce basically tells him that anyone told him no, he's automatically cleared. And we find out that Adam Pearce makes it official for Elimination Chamber. It's going to be Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in an unsanctioned match. This should be really great because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is WWE's first time doing an unsanctioned match. So I'm pretty sure this is going to close Elimination Chamber. You can't do an unsanctioned match at the beginning of the show, in the middle of the show. This is definitely going to go after the men's Elimination Chamber match, if you ask me. This is great. I cannot wait to see how this plays out. But I definitely do think this is going to be a really great match. And I'm really happy Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn could possibly main event Elimination Chamber, especially because they're both from Canada. Now, I wonder if we're going to see, El Generico at some point. It would be really crazy if Sami Zayn does come out with, an homage to El Generico. Or even, Kevin Owens comes out dressed kind of like Kevin Steen. That'd be crazy. But this is great. I'm really looking forward to this unsanctioned match. Okay, so you get a Judgment Day segment. And I like how Carlito, he's just talking about how he wants to download the DLC for 2K25. And, Liv or Dom are talking about Bianca and Naomi and about how looking to revenge. Liv says that the only revenge they should be worried about is when she and Raquel go after those tag titles. And she tells Dom how she's very proud of him for stepping up for Judgment Day. Again, Dominik suggests adding a new member, but he says Finn Balor won't allow that to happen. And Finn Balor basically says there's going to be 3 members of Judgment Day inside the chamber: Liv, himself, and Raquel, unless Raquel loses, which would be very embarrassing for her to lose to Roxanne Perez. And basically Raquel tells Finn Balor she's going to handle her business and he should handle his business. And Finn Balor reiterates to Dom no new members. So there seems to be some tension here. There's tension brewing in the Judgment Day, and especially with Finn Balor. I don't think he's particularly happy with them, but he doesn't want to show it. And I honestly think it's just a matter of time before they split and go their separate ways. I don't think that they're going to stick around much longer. And I haven't really liked this new version of Judgment Day. I feel like the old version of Judgment Day was booked so much better than this version, honestly. We get AJ Styles versus Dominik Mysterio. And this is A decent match. Actually, I didn't mind this match. Like AJ Styles was victorious after he hit the Styles Clash to Dom. Oh my god, the spot in this match where Kalita tried to get involved and he kind of got like stuck on the ropes and he spat his apple back out. That was hilarious. So he wins. So after AJ Styles wins, Braun Breaker comes on. He looks like he was about to spear AJ, but he accidentally ends up spearing Dom instead. Then AJ hits Braun Breaker with a kick. So I know they teased Penta versus Breaker. Are we gonna get AJ Styles or are we instead gonna get AJ Styles versus Braun Breaker at WrestleMania? Is that the plan they're going with now here? Seems like that might be the plan. Maybe it's Braun Breaker versus AJ Styles at Elimination Chamber. We have to wait and see, but I definitely would not mind seeing AJ Styles versus Braun Breaker. Whether it happens at WrestleMania or it happens at Elimination Chamber, it's definitely going to be a good match. Okay, American Made has a segment, and Ivy Nile kind of just reminds the Creeds that, they promised Master Gable they'll have gold by the time he gets back from his excursion. And Dakota Kai walks by and she tells Dakota Kai that she's bringing the title home to American Made. This leads into the Dakota Kai versus Ivy Niles. The winner will reface Lyra Valkyria for that IC title. And Lyra is watching on commentary. And this wasn't too bad of a match. Dakota Kai is victorious. And then Lyra Valkyria enters the ring and she lifts her title. So definitely going to see a rematch between them. But, I feel like Lyra hasn't done much with that IC title. I mean, when you compare Chelsea Green and Lyra, I feel like Chelsea Green has done so much more for her title than Lyra Valkyria has done with her title. Seriously, I mean, as much as I would want Dakota Kai to win the IC title here, I definitely do think it's too soon for Lyra Valkyria to lose the title. She hasn't done much to establish that title, so she definitely needs to retain. I do feel for Dakota Kai. I hope Dakota Kai does eventually at some point become women's Intercontinental Champion, but I just feel like Lyra Valkyria needs to establish that title a little bit more before she loses it. Okay, so we get a Gunther promo, and he is mocking Jey Uso in this. You guys know Jey Uso comes out through the crowd. Gunther came out through the crowd, and he was trying to get everybody to like yeet because he wanted to know what it felt like or what Jey was feeling when he did the yeet. He talks about how he's sick and tired of stepping into the ring with people who can't even lace his boots. And that hopefully he could talk some sense into Jey, but because of the fans yeeting along, it gave Jey a sense of confidence. He brings up the fact that their match will happen in the ring and not in the crowd. And that Jey's blood is going to be on the hands of the fans after WrestleMania. So, I thought that was actually pretty savage of Gunther, just, mocking Jey with him coming out doing his entrance. And it kind of reminded me of when Ken Owens dressed up as Stone Cold Steve Austin and came out to his whole, entrance, had the bald cap and everything. So I wonder if to add insult to injury, you should have had Gunther come out, to Jey's song and, just troll the crowd. I know, because they showed Gunther when he was in the back with the crowd. If they hadn't done that, they should have just, trolled them with... I really enjoyed that Gunther segment. Showed his humor, right? That's what I'm saying. It would have just added to it if they played the Jey Uso music and he just trolled them. So Gunther says he wants to seek a professional opinion on this topic. And he asked Michael Cole and Pat McAfee if they think Jey has a chance of beating him. McAfee says that he hopes Jey beats Gunther at WrestleMania. And, Jey Uso comes out and, officials are trying to hold him back. But, eventually a brawl breaks out. And officials manage to separate Jey and Gunther. So, definitely, I feel like over the last couple of weeks, or since Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble, I feel like it was given he was going to challenge Gunther. I don't think it was going to be Cody. But I still feel like there's some people that are not, like, happy with that. I mean, personally, I don't mind it. But I would rather have them bolt up Jey. Give us a reason to believe he can beat Gunther. I get, but they will give Jey his WrestleMania moment. He will beat Gunther. They could, or they could also have him lose. What's the stats again? What, like 86% of WrestleMania of Royal Rumble winners go on to win at WrestleMania? I forgot the stat that they show at the Royal Rumble, but it's gonna go either way. But I will say, if he does lose at WrestleMania, he should no longer be called main event Jey Uso. At least that's in my opinion. So Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are interviewed, and basically Liv says that Raquel's gonna squash Roxanne Perez like a bug, and that all they've done together is elevate the talent of the women's division, and if they had attacked Jade, they wouldn't feel bad about it. I still think there are red herrings here. I don't think that it was Liv and Raquel Rodriguez that attacked Jade. They're definitely red herrings. It's probably more than likely Naomi that did it because she benefited the most from Jade's absence. So we have to wait and see how this plays out. But it's more than likely going to be Naomi or Bianca. I think everyone's leading into it being Naomi. He will be Jey Uso. So we get Penta Cero Miedo versus Pete Dunne. And now this was actually a really great match. And I like the fact that Kaiser came out there and he's just like scouting this match. He tries to cause a distraction, but it backfires. And Pete Dunne tells him to stay out of his business. This actually cost Pete Dunne the match. And Penta ends up winning. Afterwards, Kaiser attacks Penta. Pete Dunne argues with Kaiser, and then Penta takes out both Dunne and Kaiser. Cero miedo. Yeah, exactly. Cero miedo. So I'm very curious to see where this is going to go. I mean, are they trying to are we going to get ourselves a three-way at WrestleMania? Penta es Cero miedo versus Lugo de Kaiser versus Pete Dunne. Like, I know Rey Fenix is still under contract, and he's technically not a free agent yet. So, like, are we, like, what are we doing here? Penta's getting over with the crowd. Oh, he definitely is. So, I question, what are they going to do with this? Like, is Penta going to face him in a 2-on-1 handicap match? 3-way at WrestleMania? Like, I don't know what they're going. Are they trying to tell a story with Dunne and Kaiser, and they're using Penta as to kind of tell that story? We'll see. All right. Yeah, I heard about that. All right. We get a Raiders Vignette, and they're basically talking about the creeds and how they're young, strong, hungry, and athletic, and that they took them to the limit, but they had their shot and missed, and then next time they have a match, it's war. So I actually really like this little Raiders Vignette here. I thought it was really, like, to their character here. But that was a good match. And I definitely would not mind a rematch down the road, which I feel like it is going to get to eventually. So next we get the Elimination Chamber qualifiers, Roxanne Perez versus Raquel Rodriguez. You get the height difference between Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez was extremely noticeable here. But nevertheless, like, Roxanne Perez, she's so ready for the main roster. So it seemed at one point Raquel was going to win, but that didn't happen. Bianca and Naomi came out, and they were dressed as the East Compton Clovers. If you guys have seen the movie Bring It On, you guys know who the East Compton Clovers they are. Stars Gabrielle Union and Kristen Dunst. So here they are, kind of them wearing the costume, and here is what they're the cheerleading team that they're supposed to be dressed as. The East Compton Clovers. I honestly popped when I saw that just because I immediately recognized it as I'm glad Roxanne won this match. Me too. Never seen Bring It On, just not my type of. Bring It On is a chick flick. It's a cheerleading film, so if it's not your type of thing, probably haven't seen it. You probably might not watch it. But that's where that was from. It's Bring It On. The first one, because I know there's like several sequels, but only the first one was like released in theaters. And I do like Bring It On, All or Nothing. But that has Hayden Panettiere. But anywho, off topic. Like I was saying, I marked when I saw that because I immediately recognized where the reference. Anywho, they attack poor Liv Morgan. This allows Roxanne Perez to hit pop rocks on Raquel. And so Roxanne Perez is victorious here. And so she officially qualifies for the Elimination Chamber. Is it the next film you're trying to get me to watch? I'm still trying to get you to watch Zoolander. But no, the next film I would try to get you to watch is Airplane. Because apparently, you know the famous quote, surely you can't be serious, but you'd have never seen the movie Airplane. Okay. So then afterwards, Bianca attempts to attack Liv, but Raquel saves her. So, they're going to have a match for the tag titles. All right, so we get a Seth Rollins interview. And Seth Rollins is basically talking about how he can't get to WrestleMania unless he gets to the Chamber. And he can't get to the Chamber unless he wins tonight. And he says that Finn Balor needs to win, but he needs it more. Now, again, like, it seems like they're kind of combining segments because after this, like, Karrion Kross comes out and basically says that him, Jey, and Seth Rollins are delusional. Jey for thinking he can beat Gunther, Seth Rollins for thinking he can win the Chamber, and Sami for believing he can beat KO in the current state. And he says that he still believes Sami knows he can turn things around. So is he trying to corrupt Sami Zayn? Like, I know everybody that like has kind of had like a feud, so to speak, with Kross ends up being corrupted somehow. So I'm gonna see a heel of Sami Zayn maybe eventually. Okay. So we get a New Day promo. And Xavier Woods basically tells Rey Mysterio to get well soon. Remember, they're responsible for his attack last week on Raw. They bring up the fact that the fans are mad about they told Big E to keep his lazy ass at home. And they're mad about what happened to Rey Mysterio. And they bring up a good point about how Rey Mysterio has pretty much, like every luchador that comes into WWE, they've always, I don't want to say, like, basically, Rey Mysterio is always at the top when it comes to luchadors in WWE. And so I like the fact that they brought that up because I always feel like that's the case. Like, no matter how many luchadors, or at least back then anyways, like, no matter how many luchadors came into WWE, it was always went back to Rey Mysterio. But I'm glad, Penta's getting shine here. So Kofi Kingston questions why people put Rey Mysterio on a pedestal. And, the difference between him and Rey is that he never left and he should be locker room leader. And that kind of level of disrespect forced their hand. Now, they're talking about how Xavier Woods brings up the fact that the fans should be thankful that they didn't give Rey Mysterio the old Yeller treatment here. The LWO come out and say it's unforgivable what the New Day did to Rey Mysterio. Now, Dragon Lee speaks Spanish here, and he actually says Nuevo Dia Pesta, which means the New Day stinks. Basically, that's what he was saying. It doesn't mean New Day suck. Well, I guess you can say it means New Day sucks. But he was saying, if you directly translate, it says New Day stinks. And so a brawl breaks out between them. And the New Day end up running away from the LWO. So, the New Day still have their heat. People are still booing them. But, I would think that they would make them get serious and maybe go after the tag titles. Like, why are they still being called the New Day? Maybe they should just go by Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Or maybe they need a new tag team name. Something that just screams, like, badass. It's over. I'm over New Day already. It seems like there's nothing for them to do. Like they're doing this feud with the LWO. What we're gonna do here? Like if honestly, like if the New Day does not win this feud with the LWO, I think it's pretty much like over for them. Like they turned them heel. They have this heat on them. They should capitalize on that. And last but certainly not least, we have a Bianca Belair and Naomi interview. And they said they've been counting down the days to find out the truth about who attacked Jade Cargill. Oh, and then of course Bianca has to reference the movie. She says Bianca says that Liv better bring it on. In case you needed to know what characters they were dressed as. And they'll be watching Rhea versus Io Sky in 2 weeks. As we all know, Io Sky will be taking on Rhea Ripley the Monday after Elimination Chamber. So I'm gonna stop right there because I already talked about the main event and stuff. So overall, I thought this was a pretty decent Raw. On a scale from a 1 to a Sean Spears perfect 10. Let me see. I would rank this. I think I'd give this a 7 out of 10. Pretty decent show. Really? A 5? I give this a 7 out of 10. Wasn't bad. Wasn't terrible. Could have been worse. Alrighty then. So, with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching. And for the continued support, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And I'll try to see you guys Wednesday. If I don't see you guys Wednesday, I'll definitely see you guys Friday. But hopefully I can see you guys Wednesday after AEW Dynamite. Bye!